Hi, I'm Luke McQuiston. I'm a student at Mary of Nazareth School.
Hi, I'm Jack McQuiston, and I'm a student at Mary of Nazareth School. This is my mom and dad, and they're both ER doctors.
Hi, I'm Lemon Responsible. I'm an 8th grader.
And I'm Nevin Rutabonsable, 7th grader at MON.
And I'm Nalani, 2nd grader at MON.
This is our mom, Grace Miller Responsible. She's a respiratory healthcare practitioner, also known as a respiratory therapist.
And she is one of the frontline workers during this COVID-19 pandemic. And we have some questions for her.
And she is my mom.
Can you describe your job?
Sure. My job is I'm an ER physician. I work in the emergency department taking care of patients at a large hospital.
So I'm also an ER doctor. I'm also the medical director of the ER, which is kind of like being the principal, and I lead the other physicians in the care that we provide.
So Mom, can you describe your job in more depth?
As Nevin have said, that I'm a respiratory therapist, or my name is respiratory care practitioner. We are actually very essential employees because we get to see the patients firsthand, especially the ones who are having trouble breathing. Anybody with breathing problems like asthma, COPD, I don't want to say these other complicated words like CHF, but anybody with trouble breathing, like shortness of breath, needing more oxygen because they cannot breathe on their own, I am the one who help them. I'm the one who come ahead and bring devices and equipment that they need to help them.
Mommy, can you tell me what you are seeing as a frontline worker during the pandemic?
Yes, during the pandemic, as a frontline worker, I am seeing a lot of patients coming in concerned that they have COVID-19. Some of these patients are able to go home and are testing positive and are quarantined. Some of these patients are very ill and we are admitting them to the floor, and others are requiring urgent intubation and admission to the ICU.
So there are a lot of COVID patients and there are a lot of patients who are concerned about COVID. What's kind of odd and a paradox is the actual volume overall is down. And that's because people are having their strokes and heart attacks at home because they're worried and fearful of coming to the ER and getting COVID by being there. Unfortunately, they're suffering these life-threatening illnesses at home.
Can you tell me what it's like as a frontline worker during this COVID-19 pandemic?
It's overwhelming, very overwhelming. There's a lot of people who are very sick. You have people who are coming in, just walking and talking, have, showing very mild symptoms, and then they go on to becoming very severe and very, having very trouble breathing. Some of them passing out. So you see people coming strong and slowly declining and needing to be placed on a machine, which is called ventilator, which is the main machine that we as respiratory therapists manage. We calculate the numbers that the patients need. According to the patient needs, we make sure that their body and weight, and calculate the volumes and how much oxygen they need, because we're supposed to be very precise. We're not supposed to give them too much because you can damage the lungs. So it's very, very important that you know what you're doing.
What has been the most difficult thing you have had to deal with this past month?
The most difficult thing I've had to deal with this past month has probably been working in the emergency room and seeing people that are in their 30s and 40s that look like us, moms and dads, come in and crash. That has been very, very difficult to watch, and it was very unexpected. We initially, when this began, thought it was mostly the elderly and mostly people with multiple comorbid conditions, and that has not been the case.
So I'll just outline 3 difficulties. One, really early on, was the unknown. There was a lot that we didn't know about this virus. It doesn't act like other viruses. It's not influenza. There's blood clots and inflammatory reactions that just didn't respond to our usual medications or ventilator settings. Number two here is PPE and testing. We just didn't know if we had enough or the right kind. And three is really a challenge to our confidence. You know, as ER doctors, we take pride in being able to handle anything that walks through the door. That's why I went into emergency medicine. I love that feeling that you know that you can adapt and overcome and conquer anything. And there's a few weeks there where we lacked that confidence. I think we've met the challenge, and I think brighter days are ahead.
So, Mom, what do you worry about when you're at the hospital, at work, when you're a frontline worker?
What I worry the most is because with this pandemic, you have to be prepared. You have to have you can't just go and see your patient like how we used to go before. You just go and wash your hand and then you go and sit down and talk to the patient. Right now, we have to wear all these equipment like how we have seen on TV. We have to wear all these, they call them personal protective equipment, which is the gowns. Some of them look like people who are going to space. So you have to wear those before you go see the patient. Sometimes you really love them and they're struggling breathing, but you cannot go and help them without having them, because you go in and see them and then go see somebody else, you're going to spread the disease. So you have to really think what you're doing. It can be something as small as just going to check the vital sign, which is the oxygen and the heart rate and respiration. But you have to put all what's needed for you to see the patient. So it takes a lot of time to prepare. At the same time, the patient is waiting. Sometimes they're struggling, but you have to speak to them while you're doing that, or somebody else who is there to calm them down and while you're getting ready to go see. So it's very challenging. You have to be very, very prepared. You think ahead. You make sure you have what you need before you go and see the patient. So it's very challenging.
What do you worry about the most when you're at the hospital?
What I worry about the most when I walk into the hospital nowadays is that I'm going to get that one difficult patient that I just can't save. And we've started to see that more and more. The patients that come in that we throw everything at, everything we've ever known, ventilator settings, medications. This is such an unknown virus that I just won't know how to help them, and we won't be able to save them. And I worry about that every time I walk into work.
Yeah, very similar. I just ask myself all the time, am I doing enough? And it's not, am I doing enough just for the patient, but for me, it's also the physicians that I lead. Am I doing enough to provide a safe environment so that they can provide the very best care?
Next question. How are you coping with family life and work also?
That has been, in the beginning, was very difficult, but as you know how we pray. Prayer have been the main, it's almost like, you know how you need oxygen to breathe, so prayer is like what makes me going. So me praying, it gives me this peace and knowing that I'm needed to go and help these people who need us. And they are really struggling. You see them saying, I need help, I can't breathe. You have to be able to calm down and have that confidence and show the joy in your face. And they also have to believe that you're going to help them and they're going to be okay. So me doing that, and also forgetting everything and coming home and taking care of you guys has been challenging. Sometimes I come home, you can see me very grouchy and stressed out. But after a few hours of watching a movie and how maybe you make me tea, and sometimes when I get me back massage, it helps a lot. And also seeing you guys just gives me joy. And I also have to make sure that I end up bringing it home. So it's a lot of work preparing to go to work and even leaving work to come home. I have to make sure that I'm clean enough to come back home. And also being a little bit bit isolated, so I don't have to give you. Sometimes I have to make sure my temperature is okay, I don't have sore throat, I don't have all the symptoms that may put me at risk and put you guys at risk. So I make sure that I don't bring this at home.
How are you coping with your work and family?
How we are coping with our work and family life is with the help that we've been getting with Mary of Nazareth School. I think we are very happy that we chose this year to come to this school. The support that we've received with the online learning and the structure that this school has provided for the kids makes it possible for us to balance our busy ER schedule and still be there for the kids and help them learn and continue their studies.
Yeah, and I think we've been spending a lot more time together, a lot of time outside, going on walks, exercising more. And from a work perspective, I always considered myself a workaholic, and it's never been tougher than now. There's a lot of work stress. But if I could find a silver lining in any of this, it's that all ER physicians are reconnecting with why we went into medicine in the first place, and that's to help people.
So, Mom,
Yeah.
what has been the most difficult things you have done this past month?
Of course, taking care of these very, very sick patients who have COVID-19. It has been very difficult because you see them actively getting weak, and I don't want to use the word because it's too much for you guys, but you see them losing their life. They lose strength, but we have a lot of some who are very strong and they get better. But it has been very difficult for me dealing with that. Seeing people who are okay and you see them declining, getting more sick, and they ended up dying.
Okay.
I'm sorry for saying that sad word. But we have a lot of, some of them who are getting better. A lot of them actually.
Okay. Is there any advice you would like to say to us?
Any advice is make sure you wash your hands, because this virus is new to us and we don't know much about it, and scientists have been learning and trying to see, finding cure and vaccination for it. But it takes time. It takes a long time to get there. But in the meantime, make sure you wash your hands, social distancing, follow, CDC rules, which is the government organization. Follow the rules. Don't put your hands in your mouth like right now. Don't touch your eyes. Touch your nose. Even when you're in doubt, make sure you wash your hands. So that's the main thing, washing hands and maintaining social distance.
Okay.
And when you go somewhere, you make sure you wear your mask.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or any advice for us?
I would like to say thank you to all the people that have been coming out of the woodwork to help us, especially all of the efforts that we've received from Mary of Nazareth, including hundreds of donations of PPE. We've received shields and goggles and masks and just unbelievable donations. So I would like to thank you guys for providing for our hospitals, our community. It was very unexpected, and it was really just took our breath away.
Yeah, and as far as advice, I would just note that there's a lot of information available to us nowadays. And my ask of you would be to listen to science and to scientists, okay? We have flattened the curve, and that's encouraging. But what that actually means is that we now have the bed space, the ICU space, the ventilators to be able to take care of patients. It doesn't mean that the virus has gone away. So I would just ask 3 things. Continue the social distancing. And if you're having symptoms of something like a heart attack or stroke symptoms, don't let COVID keep you from seeking the care that you need. And then lastly, I just wish for everyone to stay safe.